Safe distancing measures and work-from-home policy have caused many to turn to online shopping, thus footfall in shopping malls have reduced to a trickle. Based on the latest data on Retail Sales Index and Food and Beverage Services Index, online sales in proportion to overall retail sales is still low, but it is growing steadily. Last year, the percentage grew to 6.9%. In February this year, the percentage jumped to 7.4%. MAS reported that the city-state economic growth could dip below the forecast range of -4% to -1% to record its worst ever contraction. The economy could be more adversely impacted by COVID-19 than during the Asian financial crisis in 1998, when the economy contracted by 2.2%. The retail industry have already been suffering for a few years now. Going online is still the only way for retailers to stay visible for consumers who are staying home during the circuit breaker period. Tay Seng Leong, Global Real Estate, Hospitality and Construction M&E leader at EY says, despite high online penetration, the proportion of online retail sales to overall retail sales at 5% to 7% is still quite little compared to China, where the figure is actually 30% to 40%. In the post-COVID-19 world, there is a need to be more reinventing as consumer behavior is changing. Fundamental assumptions such as we have a great space, tenants have no choice but to rent from us, will have to change. Singapore expats are often envied for their generous pay packet, but facing the prospect of salary cut as the coronavirus batters businesses, some are tightening their belts and asking for lower rent. Mr. Clarence Fu, a real estate agent at APAC Realty Unit ERA, has come to claim that this is the highest number of requests he has received during his 7-year career. One of the tenants texted Mr. Fu to inform she had just been informed of a 20% drop in pay effective from May 1st until July 31st, after which her employer will reassess the company's financial health. Mr. Fu said at first glance it isn't a lot, but over 3 months the duration of her pay cut, it is a substantial saving. Singapore is expected to sink into a deep recession this year as it extends a partial lockdown now into its 5th week. Wages will take a bigger hit than jobs as businesses try to cut costs in an economic bracing itself for a sharp contraction. The city-state has one of the world's most expensive property market. Residential rents surged to a 3-year high last year, with prices boosted by strong overseas demand. Some levy waiver and rebates have also been provided to help firms meet their obligation to foreign employees. Some landlords hold out because the type of apartment they own are in short supply or because that rental income goes towards paying their own mortgage. Last month, a British man asked for a reduction of 50% on his 2-bedroom inner city apartment, which cost $8,000 a month. The landlord was shocked, Mr. Chen said. There is no way he is going to accept such a steep cut. Retail tenant of UOL Group and its subsidiary United Industrial Corps will receive rental rebates from this month until July, on top of rental waiver already given out in the past 2 months. This will result in a total relief package of more than $50 million to help tenants amid the coronavirus crisis, inclusive of about $16 million of property tax rebate from the government. The group shopping mall includes United Square, Velocity at Novena Square, Kinex, Marina Square, West Mall and New Park Shopping Arcade. It also owns retail premises within Odeon Tower and Clifford Centre. Approximately 25% of the group's retail tenants are still operating. They will receive waiver on the fixed component of their rent and be charged only variable rentals based on their gross turnover from the start of the circuit breaker period on April 7 until the end of this month, including entertainment venues, which had to be closed from March 27, and all other non-essential businesses which ceased operating from April 7. Ms. Jaslyn Goh, UOL Chief Investment and Asset Officer, said, "We are thankful for the various measures implemented by the government and its agency to support the economy and industry. In this crisis, all business sectors are badly affected. No one is spared. As such, we are committed to stand alongside our valued partners to keep businesses viable." Retail tenants will receive 100 rental rebates for last month and this month, 50% for next month, and 30% for July. CapitaLand, Singapore, biggest retail landlord with malls such as Ion Orchard, Funan and Junction 8 in its portfolio, has said that it is effectively granting 100% rental rebates for almost all tenants for last month and this month. MAS announced that individuals may request for the deferment of loan repayment, which include commercial and industrial property loan, education, renovation and motor vehicle loans starting 6 May 2020. The measures is part of the second relief package rolled out by MAS in order to aid Singaporeans who are financially burdened due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This came after the central bank announced the first package last month, which provided relief measures for mortgages and unsecured revolving credit facilities. Warning, however, were given in view of the possible higher overall interest costs due to payment deferment and loan tenor extensions. Careful deliberation must be made by borrowers, considering the accumulated interest costs that they will eventually have to bear. Banks, for their part, also show support to the measures rolled out by MAS and urge individuals involved to approach its bank officer early. The bank has already approved the deferment of close to 8,000 mortgage principal and interest payment applications amounting to approximately 4.7 billion in loans.